All sorts of talk this week about standing up to China, with one Australian bureaucrat making world headlines by saying he could hear the drums of war beating, and Peter Dutton saying war over Taiwan was a possibility. James, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, war over Taiwan is absolutely a possibility. The Chinese have made no secret about that. There's a lot of interesting things that are happening here domestically with that. I mean, Mike Pezzullo, Home Affairs Secretary, put out that statement this week, which obviously would have been reviewed at the very highest levels of government, saying, you know, the drums are beating. Sometimes they beat quietly. Sometimes they beat more loudly. The suggestion was that they're beating more loudly now. China wasn't mentioned in that, but it was clear what he was talking about. Some people, cynics, are saying, you know, Mike Pezzullo is looking for a job as Secretary of Defense. Who knows? We could put that to one side. We do know what China, though, is after, and we know what they're up to. And I think it's good that Australia is continuing. This is something that the Morrison government deserves a lot of credit for, putting themselves out there and basically saying the quiet part loud for the free nations of the world and saying, China, you know, we know what you're up to, and it's not going to stand.
Well, Bob Carr, Rita, got all upset, along with most of the lovies, saying, oh, no, calm it all down. But surely the point is here, Rita, that the only way to prevent China from invading Taiwan is to make a noise in the West and say it's not going to be acceptable to us. We sat there complacently while Hong Kong was basically stolen. So we've got to speak up now about Taiwan, Rita, surely.
Absolutely. This isn't just reckless talk, as Bob Carr would have you believe. He's saying, you know, where are the grown-ups? All this loose talk about China and war is dangerous. He'd prefer us to take the New Zealand approach and bend a knee to Chinese tyranny. But China needs to know that the West is serious about standing with Taiwan. We are not going to stand by and watch them take over Taiwan, and they need to have that fear to moderate their behaviour, because if they do move on Taiwan, that is a war that would be devastating. Either we stand by and allow it to happen, or we stand with our ally, and I think that would be a significant conflict. So
well,
I think this is just preempting that.
As recently as only a couple of years ago, you had the likes of Qantas saying, oh, no, we're not going to call Taiwan Taiwan anymore. This was this was basically encouraging the Chinese to say, OK, well, the West don't care. They don't even care what the country's called. So now at least we're saying, no, put a stop to this. Of course, the socialist entity known as New Zealand, or Aratoria, or whatever it is this week, were busy saying, oh, no, you know, Australia being too heavy on China, and Jacinda Ardern cozying up to China as per usual. No surprise there. She was the head of the World Youth Socialist Movement at one stage, so I guess she knows which side her bread's buttered on, or or whatever it is.